At Origin, we believe budgeting should be simple and approachable. Instead of using zero-based budgeting where you have to manage every single dollar, we want you to be able to set an overall budget and decide how granular you want to go with your budget. So let's get started. When you're on the spending overview, you will see an entry point to build a custom budget in just 2 clicks. Let's click on setting a budget. The first thing that you'll do is set your monthly income. This allows us to estimate what your savings will be based on the budget set. As I go through this experience, I also want to highlight we are making revisions to our budgeting product in Q1, which is just around the corner. One of the experiences that we will be adjusting is we know that not everyone has consistent monthly income, and people might be students. Some people may not have income in a particular month. And so we want to accommodate for those individuals and allow them to create a budget even without setting the monthly income. But for those that do have a regular monthly income, the first step is to set your monthly amount. As you can see here, we do highlight the monthly average and pre-populate it for you. And these are based on all the transactions that we have for you. And you can look through all your various income transactions. However, you are always able to go in and reset the amount to whatever you wish. But the first step is to set your monthly income. The next step is to define your monthly budget. This is determining what your savings target is. We pre-populate this with a 20% of your monthly income savings target. In this case, it's $800, but you can always adjust the value. We then calculate what your monthly budget should be. In order to save $800 a month, you need to spend at most $3,200 a month. We also have a little note at the bottom. At this rate, they'll be saving $9,600 per year. Now it's time for me to set individual budget. If I want to leave the budget at $3,200, I can do that, click done, and my budget is created. I actually don't want to manage every single individual category, but there are a couple categories that I do want to make sure have individual budgets. The first is shopping. I can see here that I have a $567 monthly average of shopping expenses. And I've noticed, as you can see on the graph, that my shopping expenses have really been increasing over the past few months. And so instead, I want to stay well below the average and fix that at around $300 a month. I can see here it's going to be a pretty ambitious goal based on my past spending, but I still want to try and stay within that limit. Now you can see here, when you have individual budget categories, they take away from your total budget and everything else just gets grouped together into this everything else category. This allows people to be the most flexible with their budgeting possible. As we interviewed different members, we learned that having to manage individual categories could be really overwhelming and time consuming. And instead they wanted to stay under a particular limit. I want to add yet another budget category, and that's for travel and vacation. And I'm going to set this for around $500. And also for drinks and dining. So now I have a couple different budget categories. I can always create a new category while I'm in this flow or add and remove categories that have already been created. So let's close that and click done. And now my budget has been created. I can monitor how I'm trending towards my overall budget goal. I'm already at 65% of my overall budget. I can go in and edit the budget if I wish. I can also see how I'm trending towards those individual budget categories. If I click in, I can see I've far exceeded my shopping category. I can tap and understand why that is. I can also go into everything else and understand all my other expenses that don't have individual budget categories. And I can sort those by highest, newest, oldest, just to better understand what those transactions are. And if I want to compare how this budget performed compared to previous months, I can just quickly click through the budget up above. What I can see here is that for this member, I way underset the budget, but this is the way that one can create and manage a budget at Origin. When you're on the dashboard, you can also customize your favorites so that you can have a budgeting breakdown as the first thing that you see when you're on your homepage. Just wanted to highlight that note that you can always modify your favorites to be what you find most valuable and highest touch within the product.